welcome to my YouTube channel. It's June 29th, which is kind of crazy because we're 6 months into the year already. It's crazy. Anyway, a couple of questions from you guys out there again, which I want to continue to urge you to send these questions. First question is, what is a buyout? And does the photographer still own the copyright? The photographer always owns the copyright unless you sell it to a client. If you sell it to a client, you need to try and get a lot of money for that, because if you sell the copyright, you can never, ever, ever use that picture. So try never to sell that copyright. A buyout is basically based on the time. If you give a client a buyout for 1 year worldwide, that means that they can use the picture in any medium that they wish. You know, you could say that not for television, but when they ask for a buyout, they want it for all media. So depending on the amount of time, it could be a buyout in perpetuity, which means you're never going to be able to use that picture. You're never going to be able to sell it again. So you're going to have to try and get some good money for that. So try and understand the media buy regarding the buyouts before you give prices. But please, please, please don't give it away. It hurts you and it hurts all of us. How many images in a portfolio? That's always a good question. It's really hard to say how many. All I know is that the book needs to feel and flow. You could have 60 pictures in a book, but each picture's got to flow into each other, and it's got to feel like a novel. A really strong beginning, a middle that keeps you interested, and an ending that blows you away. And that's pretty much how I work when I edit portfolios for photographers. I remember with Rodney Smith back in the middle 90s, who I represented, and he came to me with beautiful, beautiful images, all black and white. And when he showed me his work, he showed it to me in all print form, and he came to me with white gloves, and it was really funny because I didn't put the gloves on and I didn't touch the pictures, and he just went one at a time, and he was going a little slow, and I'm like, come on, let's go, Rodster. I know what your pictures are. They were beautiful. But anyway, I took Rodney on, which was a pleasure, and what we did, because he had 3 different styles, the same style, but 3 different categories. One was still lifes on location, one was fashion on location, and one was landscapes. Everything he did in black and white and available light. So what we ended up doing with his wife, who's a fantastic designer, Leslie Smolin, we designed a book. Leslie designed a book that had a slipcase with 3 different books, and on the binding it said landscape, still life, and fashion. The beauty of Rodney's work is that there was a thread between all of his imagery. So you knew it was from the same photographer. The overall light and the overall sense of design was there. So it's really hard to say how many pictures you want to put in a portfolio, but it's got to flow. You could put 20 pictures in a book, but that 20 pictures better be really strong and it better speak to the viewer without you even saying a word. Anyway, keep coming back to me with questions. We're coming up to July 4th. I don't think I'm going to be on again this week. I might, depending on you guys. So come back to me with more questions, and I will speak to you soon. Later.